To live consciously, it may appear to you to be an impossible task, a very strenuous effort. Actually, to live consciously is the most natural, and it is in fact the very true nature for which we were born. Now, of course, the first step that will take you to live consciously is to recognize that all your behavior, all the issues that you are dealing with relate with your identification with mind. Identification indeed is what you could call the only disease, the issue to come to clarity. In fact, the art of non-identification has been the search from the true seekers. So I need to guide you into coming to a space of really non-identification. The first step that I suggest is always to come to the understanding that mind is separate from the one that wants to watch itself, to watch mind. Mind has a life of its own. In fact, mind doesn't even know that you exist. But let me explain you more clearly, what mind are we speaking about? Of course, there is what I call the physiological mind, what is related to our animal instincts. We are born with that mind to deal with situations that have to do with your survival, with your capacity to support the life system inside of you. But that's not the mind that you are questioning, that you need it. You need it and you use it. And many times you are very aware that it is a mechanism that is very helpful. Then there is another kind of mind that I call the intellectual mind. In other words, the amount of knowledge that you have accumulated, that you identify with what you know. But if you look at what you know, in fact, that knowledge, you have borrowed it from someone else. In other words, someone else taught you, gave you that mind that today you consider to be your knowledge. And so we arrive to what I call the psychological mind. Yes, your belief systems, those mechanisms of mind that in fact are very much related to fear. The psychological mind started with a very basic individual universal need for love. This need for love, it is part of our existence from birth to death. And we associate love to this expectation that it's a need that we deserve. It's a need that existence itself should provide it without any conditions. We realize very fast in our existence, in the early years of our life, that in fact our need for love has conditions. It doesn't come as spontaneous and as naturally as we deep inside feel that it's the way that we want it. So becomes a new attitude towards our life, a conditioning. We start learning mechanisms of behavior. We start having systems, belief systems. And this is the beginning of what later becomes the main influencer of our existence, our psychological mind. Now, when I speak about non-identification, I'm mostly relating to our psychological mind. Now, this psychological mind has a deep connection with love, or the absence of love. Now, love, every human being has its own connection with love or the absence of it, and would probably use your own words to explain, to relate, to say how you feel, what is love for you. In fact, is that we all, every human being, somehow resonates with the energy, the dimension of love. But also, every human being says, why I don't get all the love that I feel I need? And there comes what we call fear. Fear is the absence of love. In which way? Exactly in the way that the expectation of love brings the experience that love does not happen naturally, as a flow of energy between all of us human beings. And so, in our unconscious, grows this message that we need to fight for love, that something of whatever we are is not enough. We need to give more. We need to be different. We need to be somebody else. There is an expectation that is surrounding us consciously or unconsciously about the need for love, the need to receive love. And that's the fear that grows. The fear has different aspects, but essentially is fear that without love I will die, fear that if I truly express what I need, I don't deserve love, I will be punished. There will be a sense of I need to control myself. Or if I completely let go into what I feel to be my true needs, then love will not happen. So it's a sense of what we are surrounded by if we behave outside of the establishment, outside of the belief systems, if we are crazy. As you notice, our culture does not really know how to deal with madness. Yes, there are medicaments, medicine, science tries to deal with it through these kind of medicines. Usually we have what we call madhouses, where people get treated because something with them is not okay, something with them is out of the established behavior, the belief systems. So fear is in fact what mind nourishes from. Fear is the substance that is permanently giving meaning to mind itself. Now, if we look at what is this psychological mind, this psychological mind is actually very boring. It's very short. It's dealing with the same issues all the time. And what are these issues? What are these boring components of psychological mind? I don't agree. It doesn't fit with my belief systems. So I'm in conflict. I fight. I make a war. You are right and I'm wrong, or you are wrong and I'm right. Conflict, fight. Another component of this psychological mind is I'm not in the right place. I should get out. When is it going to finish what's happening right now? Let me escape. And that creates this sense that to be here now, it's not the right place. Somewhere else I will be okay. Here, the confrontation that I'm facing does not make me feel that it gives me what I want. So I escape. And the other component of psychological mind, something wrong is going to happen. I call it the Asterix syndrome. The sky is going to fall on my head. If I resonate, if I agree, if I stop fighting, if I don't run away, then something wrong is going to happen. So these three components are like ghosts behind each of us, always trying to be relevant, always trying to have power, always to give you a reason to say, hey, give me relevance. Listen to my belief systems. Then once you start noticing the mechanism, the process that has been happening, then we arrive to, in a way, what to do with it. But I want to clarify, very specific, that I'm not giving you a know-how. Because the simple idea to how to watch mind, how to non-identify, is a contradiction. Because it would be then another mental exercise. So first, awareness. Recognize what are you dealing with? What is in that given moment the mental process that is so much taking your attention, making you feel identified with it? Awareness. First step, notice it. Awareness will be the beginning of your transformation. And then, fortunate, nature itself is giving us the keys of known identification. Nature itself has already created what is the antidote, the way out. And the way out is here now, this moment. And this moment, I suggest, start with the body. Be aware of your body language, of your body positions, of the situations in which your body is dealing with the environment. Because the body is always here now. And this is not an exercise. It's a recognition. It's an awareness. The body has the senses. The senses are always here now. You listen to the sounds of nature around you. A car that passes by. A thunder that happens outside of the window. The rain that is falling. Or the air condition in your room. The senses, the body, put you in the position of the only reality, the here now. And then go one step deeper. Once the senses are present, the deeper step is the breath. The breath is at the center of it all. The breath is outside of it all. Yes, once in the breath, you relate to the circumference, you relate to the outside, you relate to the all that it is outside. But you are in the center. And in the center, what keeps you there, it's God's gift, the breath, the only reality. And that is already a deeper state of awareness. You are not anymore involved with the sounds. You are not anymore giving power to the car who is passing in the street. All that is in the background. You are now in the center. And in the center, it's cool. In the center, it's endless. Like an ocean that has no bottom. So you go deeper into that center. And you stay there. And if mind comes back and fights, breath reminds you that you have a choice. Breath is your friend. breath becomes your master, warning you, reminding you, come back to the center. In the center, there's no fear. Just the center. There's nothing. There's everything. You may choose. You may give any moment, go after the bird that just sang outside of your window, or listen to the child who is crying or laughing next to you, or the teapot that is calling you that the water is hot. You have a choice because you are in the center. In the center is cool. In the center, you have the freedom of your choices. That's the watcher.